What is up, everybody? JD here. Hope you're doing well today. Got a new one in from Giant Mouse. Let's take a look at it. All right, guys, this is the jutlin, and you probably are already seeing something a little different on here. This is not a locking knife, but it is a modern traditional slip joint from them. You have milled contoured titanium scales. You have a crowned back spring with jimping on it, a space for your lanyard hole, and you do have a wire pocket clip that is deep carry, and you do have a nail nick here for opening. And boy, oh boy, does that have quite the pull on it. You have a machine ground or machine to finish S90V blade, very thin clip point blade on here, very pokey, lots of belly, and it is a 3-finger knife, but it does have a kick out here, and it is thick enough to where my pinky starts to land on it, but it is definitely a smaller carry for sure. The contoured scales are very comfortable in the hand. Love the hand position on this. The jimping is in a great spot for me, where this would be a great open packages and do some light duty cutting with this particular one. Not saying that you couldn't hard use or push this one. It certainly is thin enough and slicey enough to where it moves through the materials very easily, but it is very comfortable. Like, I was expecting with the pinky falling off, but the way that kind of works for me, super comfortable. I'm very surprised by this. Pocket clip works well, goes in and out pocket nicely. It has excellent retention. I think because it is shorter, it does hold in the pocket very well, but they gave you enough clearance for it to go over the lip of the pocket. And it also, because it is a perfectly round pocket clip, doesn't create any sort of hot spot. That is a steel clip, very tight to the body there, and I think part of that is part of the reason, I should say, why it actually carries well. Now, the walk and talk on this. Pretty good walk and talk, but the pull is very nice on this one. I would give it like a 5.5. Trying to figure that second pull out. Give that second pull like a 6.5. So nice solid pull, but something that you can easily do. I do like to grab the blade itself and pull at it. It is a little slick with the finish. That nail nick, because it's so close to the pivot, actually creates like a very difficult pull. So I have a little bit of an easier time right in front of the actual nail nick, but right behind where the swell is, kind of grabbing it there and opening it. Very satisfying click on that one. Let's do some quick size comparisons, and then I would like to weigh the knife. It actually feels pretty lightweight. All right, we're going to start it off with a couple of my own modern traditionals that I do carry quite often, and that is going to be the Gateway Barlow from Jack Wolf Knives, one of my favorite affordable slip joints of the year, and one of my favorite all-time is going to be the Hedgehog, especially in the spear point variant. I think this compares pretty well to the two of these. Let me do a couple of regular folders, and then we'll grab the scales. All right, just a couple of folders really fast. The Bodacious, full-size user that I like, and then a smaller EDC and the Dremel. And you can see it is definitely more compact, but it's still a good size, I think, for a fifth pocket or a pocket dropper. Let me get these out of here, and we'll grab the scale and check the weight. All right, scale out and cut on. Coming in at 2.6, great weight. I think that is a very good spot for something like this with a full steel back spring and titanium scales to land on. All right, final thoughts and impressions. If you're not familiar, I grade on a scale of 1 to 10. I cap budget knives at a 7, but this being all premium and super steel, premium materials and super steel, eligible to use the full range of the actual system here. While I admit when I first signed up to check this one out, I wasn't sure how I felt about it. Once I actually got this thing in hand and got to use it, spend some time with it, cut with it. It really made quite the impression. So I do take into account money for value, so the price point, the aesthetics, which is subjective, the performance both with the action, or in this case, walk and talk, and the cutting, aesthetics, the ergos, and the overall build quality. I am at a 7.9 on this one. I like it a ton. If it would have been just a little bit bigger on the back end here, the kick out for the pinky, I'd have loved it a little bit more. Saying that, I think a lanyard would really kind of solve that for me personally, and that's more of a me problem than it is a knife problem. The sharpening choil actually is already at where it is going to have a smile after one sharpening, and that nail nick, while I think design wise makes sense, I think I would have rather them left a little bit more surface and just make it a little bit of a longer pull, something to grab onto out here. For me, makes it a little bit easier to open. Everything else though, fit and finish on this is excellent. Giant Mouse did a fantastic job. I think aesthetically it's an attractive option and different from what you saw in my lineup, right? Like, just mine is more neutral, more straightforward. Well, the hedgehog has a little contour to it, but I think it's a nice option. I'll link it for you where I can down below. When you use my links, it helps the channel. That is totally up to you. And if you enjoyed the content, a like and a comment will help as well. A lot of my viewers are not subscribed, so I'd love to earn your subscription, and it helps the channel. That is totally up to you, just like using the links. Special shout out and thanks to my channel members. I love you guys. That's it for me today. I'm out of here. I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye.